The Prix Marcel Boussac is the best race of the year in France for 2-year-old fillies. This year there were 8 starters, including 7 Springs, winner of the Papin and the Morny. 1.5 furlongs out of the gate, late evening, the pace setter for Triptych is leading in front of Triptych, Captive Island, Silver Mine, Black Cap on the rail, and Coup de Folie. In the stretch turn, late evening is setting a steady pace in front of Triptych, Captive Island, Silver Mine, Bay Helen, and 7 Springs with a pink cap. She has recently been sold to Sheikh Khalid Abdallah. Coming into the stretch, Triptych, Pale Blue Silks, passes her pace setter on the outside, while Silver Mine is making her move on the rail. 2 furlongs from the finish, Triptych and Silver Mine are battling for the lead in front of Captive Island, Coup de Folie, and 7 Springs. 1 furlong from home, Triptych, who is by Riverman out of the Champion Trillion, pulls away to win easily by 4 lengths in front of Silver Mine. Coup de Folie is third.
Going on now, Burning Issues the horse chasing, and this is the evidence as to how good Triptych is. Well, the ground in Ireland has been soft, as you know, but compare that with Shadid. Obviously, it's nowhere near as impressive to look at, and I'm seeing this for the first time, but you know she's well, you know she's fit.
Racing
she's
across now to complete the first furlong, and Belle Havre has gone up on the inside to show in front. Father Matthew as well there, also prominent towards the outside is Conformist. Triptych is just off the leaders with Severin Boar. Don Justice towards the outside with Sun Valley, and then Cut Free as they race around towards the elbow with almost 6 furlongs to race, and Father Matthew over on the far side is the leader from Belle Havre and Triptych, and in behind these is Conformist with Celestial Bounty. They're followed by Sun Valley, then Irish River. Towards the outside, Leading Council with Don Justice as they race down now towards the halfway stage, and Father Matthew in the lead, followed in second by Triptych. Then towards the outside is Sun Valley. Racing past the 3 furlong marker, and Father Matthew towards the far side. Up there Max Reef, and also prominent is Sun Valley. Just behind these Triptych, and they're followed by Dennett's. Racing towards the 2 furlong marker now, and Sun Valley on the outside from Max Reef, and then Celestial Bounty and Triptych and Father Matthew. Then a gap to Leading Council and Dennett's and Irish River and Don Justice, and then Main Reason. Inside the last quarter mile now, and Celestial Bounty coming there on the stand side of Triptych. Sun Valley in third. Back in 4th place is Max Reef, and they're followed by Dennett's. It's Triptych and Celestial Bounty as they race inside the final furlong. Triptych the leader in the early Coolmore Irish 2000 guineas from Celestial Bounty and Sun Valley. As they race up towards the finish, it's Triptych the leader. Triptych's going to win it, not the line. Triptych's the winner of the Irish guineas from Celestial Bounty and Sun Valley. They're followed home by Max Reef, and behind Max Reef comes Dennett's, and then Leading Council and Main Reason, and then Rare Willow and Don Justice, and then Conformist and Irish River and Father Matthew. Convergence, Cut Free, Severin Boar, and the last to finish is Bell.
£1,070.
They're off.
Behind these Petradia, who's losing a pitch, just over 2 to race, and the favourite Osho Sharp throws down the challenge for Triptych, but coming fast on the stands rails is Dubai, and they've got a furlong and a half to go, and Steve Cawthon strikes the front and goes for home, and the race looks all over in a matter of strides. This is an impressive turn of foot shown by Osho Sharp. She's drawn away from Triptych. Dubai back in 3rd place inside the final furlong, and it's Osho Sharp for 6 to 4 favourite. Steve Cawthon and Henry Cecil on a real high this week. It's Osho Sharp who wins the Gold Seal Oaks. Osho Sharp the winner, Triptych second, Dubai in 3rd, then Kiliniski 4, Bellicalora 5, Domino's Nurse came 6, and behind these came Perfect Match, Morning Devotion, Petradia, and then came Romantic Feeling, Calorge, and last of all, oh, what a disappointing run by Leicester on Dance Machine. He finished last of all, but oh so Sharp at 6 to 4 has won the Gold Seal Oaks, and what an amazing...
3 lengths clear. Damister in second, then Scottish Reel, and they're followed by Bayamon, Helen Street, and then Bob Back, but racing inside the final furlong. Comanche Run has made it all. He's running on really strongly to win this in most impressive style. The favourite Comanche Run storming clear of the Phoenix Champion Stakes. Racing up to the line, Lester Pickett, Comanche Run, the second leg of this $1 million bonus achieved. He's won it well. Bob Back is second. It's close for third between Damister on the near side of Scottish Reel, and then Bayamon 5, then Helen Street, Theatrical, Leading Council, Reprint, and Triptych, and last to finish is Vice Admiral. But what an impressive performance that was from Comanche Run, owned by Mr. Ivan Allen, trained by Luca Comani, ridden by Lester Pickett. He made virtually all and fairly slaughtered the opposition in this £261,500 to the winner Phoenix Champion Stakes, as we can see again with Ted Walsh.
Well, Lester Pickett may be 50 and he may be going to retire, but he's still the greatest tactician and one of the greatest riders that we'll ever see. Here he is, he dictates all the gallop, quickens up at the right time. He knows this horse is not short of stamina. He really stretches everything behind him. A few there, 2 down had a chance, but once they got to the last furlong, it was a one-horse race, and this is really a top-class horse. Lester said he was one of the best he's ever ridden, and no one should doubt that, and he really galloped onto the line here. He's a top-class horse on his way to winning the $1 million bonus, and I'll tell you one thing, I'd hate to be trying around to beat him. Bob back riding for some of the place when he stays on the Bruce Train.
I wonder what sort of pace these pacemakers have in fact set as they turn into the home straight. Grand Harbour the leader, from Come On the Blue second. Bedtime gets the split between these. Dancing Brave with a pink cap moves up and travels very well. Triptych on the right of the picture, Border Ranger behind these as Grand Harbour gives way. Come On the Blues gives way, and Bedtime goes on from Triptych. Here comes Triptych on the outside, and Dancing Brave has to switch. It's Triptych who goes home from Dancing Brave. 2 furlongs to go in the Coral Eclipse, and it's Triptych, Dancing Brave. Bedtime teleprompter, Border Range with the ladies, and now Dancing Brave in a matter of strides goes on from Triptych. It's Dancing Brave from Triptych. This is a class performance, a furlong to go, and Dancing Brave really lengthening and striding away. 5-6 lengths clear of Triptych in second place. Teleprompter Panthers for second. No doubt about the winner. A quality cold in fluid action. Dancing Brave, an impressive winner. Triptych second, Bedtime just third. I hate it in the photo with Border Range with the gap then to Bedtime. The pacemakers did it.
Shadastani coming down to the 2 furlong pole. Dear Stan from Shadastani, and here comes Dancing Brave unleashing a run towards the stand side. Shadastani is under pressure. Shadari has moved into the lead over on the far side, and Dancing Brave is coming there with a double handful, and it's Pat Edery on Dancing Brave from Shadari. Triptych just moving into third as they race to the line. Dancing Brave avenges his Epsom defeat. Dancing Brave being challenged again by Shadari, but holding him well. Dancing Brave the winner, Shadari second. Triptych.
On the extreme right of the picture, it's Dahiston who leads from Mr. John. Then comes Shadari travelling strongly. Triptych in behind these. Then Fioravanti. Wilfer, though, certainly with them down the centre of the track with 3 to go, where the main group of runners are now headed by Shadari. Shadari, Wilfer down the second at the centre of the track, 2.5 to race. Shadari from Wilfer, then Triptych tracking these. After these comes Damister, who starts to pick up ground, 1.5 furlongs to go, and Shadari sets sail for home from Triptych in second place. Wilfer still there down the centre of the track, now gives way, and over 1 furlong to go. Shadari being strongly pressed by Triptych. Shadari from Triptych, these clear of Damister and Wilfer, and well inside the final 1/2 furlong. It's Shadari with Triptych trying down a determined challenge. Triptych eats up the ground, but Shadari gets to the post, and Shadari is the winner. From Triptych in second, Damister third, just fourth came Mr. John, then Boulder Range with then Wilfer, followed by Asteroid Field, Dahiston, Bedtime, Fitner beat 2. Those 2 were Fioravanti and Cadiol, and so the outcome.
Dubai sponsored Champion Stakes with a penalty value of 86,750. Under starters' orders, 8 to 1 Untold at the off. That's it, away they go. Celestial Storm a little slow out of the stalls, and the first to go on is the new favourite Park Express. So coming through the first 1/2 furlong, it's Park Express who's gone on under John Reed with the 8 to 1 Untold upsides Shawblade second and third. Behind these 3 races, Damister on the outside of Triptych for France, then another one for France, Double Bed, followed by Tremblant with a white noseband, and beginning to make the turn now at the end of the first 1/4 mile, and it's Park Express, John Reed for Ireland, Untold, Walter Swinburne in second, then Shawblade bidding for his hat-trick in third place, and after these 3 come Damister and Double Bed. They're now about 7.5 furlongs from the finish, and they're all going over towards the far rails, where Park Express, with that large white noseband, continues to lead them for Ireland, followed by Untold in second place. Then Double Bed, Shawblade and Damister all together. They're followed by the 4-year-old filly Triptych, and after her races the rank outsider Mona Lisa. They're inside the final 3/4 mile. After Mona Lisa races Tremblant, and the last 3 are Celestial Storm, then Béamont for France, and finally Sia Carlem. They're now 5 furlongs out, and it's still Park Express who took it up right at the onset of the race. Untold in second, so it's fillies 1 and 2, Shawblade in 3, Damister for 4, Double Bed for France comes next, and then Triptych. They're only 1/2 mile from home, so it's over the grandstands and Graham. Good.
So Park Express leading from Untold in second place, and then Shawblade in third. Sheikh Mohammed second and third in this Dubai Champion Stakes. Damas are just behind him. Double bed in the hoops. Triptych next to the rail. Celestial Storm gets closer. Beamont being rode along. Mona Lisa losing touch. But it's still Park Express in the lead. But here comes Double bed in the hoop jacket, and Double bed with 2 furlongs to go throws down a big challenge to Park Express, who really quickens up now next to the rails. Park Express, Double bed. Now Triptych has found room on the outside, and Triptych has quickened up, and Triptych has gone on. A furlong and a half to go, and Triptych has stolen this. She's really quickened up and gone 3 clear. Here comes Celestial Storm with a noseband in second place, but Triptych has this from Celestial Storm and Park Express. Triptych out in front for a long time. Celestial Storm is closing. Triptych tied up. Celestial Storm really firing at the line, but at the post, Triptych wins at Celestial Storm second, Park Express third, Beamont just 4 damage to 5, Untold 6, Double bed 7, Shawblade a disappointing 8, but has beaten 3. Those 3 are Tremblant, Sire Calum, and last of all was Mona Lisa. And so victory has gone to this daughter of Riverman, Triptych, owned by Mr. Alan Corr, trained in France by Patrick Louis Bianco, who won this race back in '84 with Palace Music. This time Tony Cruz is the impressive jockey on this 4-1 winner, and Tony Cruz rides for Patrick Louis Bianco next year. Well, he couldn't have got off to a better start with that relationship. Second is number 6, Celestial Storm. Ray Cochrane fairly ate up the ground through the last furlong, but Triptych stole the race. Third is number 11, Park Express. John Reed out in front for an awfully long way. But Triptych has been labelled by some of the pundits a professional loser. Some loser on the form she's won her Group 1 race, deservedly so. Smashing filly. Let's see her steal it again.
And let's see one of the happiest sights I've seen on the flat all year, because if ever a victory was deserved, this is it. Triptych, who was over on the far rails, Tony Cruz, greatly to his credit, has coolly and stealthily pulled her to the outside. Now he's got the daylight he's been looking for, outside Double bed. Park Express is still in front over on the rails, but now Triptych shows the kind of speed that got her so close to Dancing Brave and burying in the arc. It carries her clear past Park Express, and now the only question is, will she get tired? Will she get bored in front? It's not, she hasn't that often been in front, not this far in front and not this long. And Celestial Storm is running on really well from far behind. I thought for an awful moment hereabouts that he might begin to catch Triptych, but in fact she holds on plenty long enough. The post comes in good time for, as I say, one of the most popular winners probably since Brigadier Gerard won his last.
Then comes the main, then a Katananga, then Shadari, followed by Shahrastani, then Bearing making well on the very wide outside, and Dancing Brave on the extreme right of the picture. Pedigree asking for everything. A furlong and a half to go, and it's Shadari now who strikes the front. Carrara with a noseband, Bearing on the very wide outside with a white face Shahrastani, but here comes Dancing Brave, powering down the centre of the track, and it's Dancing Brave now who's come to take up the running. Dancing Brave is going to go on. Dancing Brave is going to win at the post. Dancing Brave from Bearing, Shahrastani at Triptych, then Shadari and Carrara. In the Henson Trust Coronation Cup, that's it. All installed, under orders and they're away. Interesting to see the jockeys for the first furlong, see if they can get a good strong hold on their horses, providing the reins don't slip. Sweaty horses, wet reins. Could be dodgy this, but Rakaposhi King leads for the first furlong, and Rakaposhi King opens up a lead over length to Nisnas and Triptych and a Katanango, 3 across the track. Maysoon is the back marker, and Rakaposhi King in the lead from Triptych, and then racing between these two, Katanango and Nisnas already having to be chased along. You can spot the dark green jacket looks black. That's on the outside. Maysoon, John Oaksey, going well in between and behind them.
Yes, and Nisnas, I beg your pardon, Triptych going very well in second place, Joe.
Yes, she's got a nice lead there from Rakaposhi King, in a lovely position, ideally, gets a real lead right into the dip. I don't think this filly wants to be in front too long, John. She just tends to idle once she goes very quickly from behind and rather pulls up a little bit.
And they appear to be going plenty fast enough for a Katanango. I saw Pat Edery change his whip there, pull his whip through. A Katanango normally would be closer to the leaders. I think they must be going a great gallop.
So Rakaposhi King in the lead, Triptych next to the rails, Nisnas being ridden along on the outside, a Katanango back in last place, and Maysoon has gone into 4th. They begin the descent as they reach the halfway stage in the Coronation Cup, and Rakaposhi King leads. Set 2 track records already this season. Triptych, the mare, in second place, running in her 21st Group 1 race. Nisnas is third, and here goes into Catenango on the outside under Padadori, goes into third place. Maysoon still really swinging there back in fifth. The lightning flashes, they come past the 5 furlong marker, and Rakaposhi King has it. From Triptych in second place, looks to be running away. Then Catenango back in third, Maysoon is 4. Nisnas, the pace is just a bit too hot for him, levels up into the home straight in last place. And so it's Rakaposhi King in the lead. From in second place, Triptych coming there in second place. And I do declare that when Steve Cawthon went down to the start, he hadn't got gloves on. He's certainly got gloves on now. Just over 2 to go. It's Rakaposhi King in the lead, but look at the odds-on favourite, Triptych in behind in second. But Maysoon is on her heels too, and she can quicken. Catenango is on the left of the 4. They've just got a furlong and a half to go. And it's Rakaposhi King next to the rails. Here goes Triptych into the lead, and Triptych quickens up and makes these look very one-pace indeed. What an amazing mare this is. It's Triptych in the lead from Rakaposhi King second. Catenango is third, and Triptych holds on, but Rakaposhi King rallies inside the final furlong. Triptych has it though, at the line. Triptych, Rakaposhi King, Catenango from Maysoon, well clear of Nisnas, who finished last. And so the outcome of this Hanson Trust Coronation Cup, a win for number 6 Triptych, owned by Mr. Alan Claw, the 5-4 on favourite, trained in France by Patrick Le Biancone and written by Tony Cruz. A truly remarkable race. Some racing to do and some ground to make up if she's going to win. And Toto and Michael Roberts make ground in the yellow jacket. They turn into the home stretch, just over 3 to go. Media Star Guest runs wide, and Reference Point has it. Reference Point from Bellotto in second, Milligram going in third. From Toto, next to the rails, Triptych's going to have to find room. And it's Reference Point in the lead, with under 3 furlongs to race in the Coral Eclipse. Reference Point has it from Milligram in second, and Toto going very well. Triptych is going to be pulled to the outside to deliver her challenge. They've still got 2 furlongs to go, and Reference Point from Toto, and Triptych on the outside. Milligram under pressure. Bellotto is beaten, and they've got a furlong and a half to go, and Reference Point trapped now by Toto, with Triptych hanging in behind them. They've got a furlong to go, and it's Toto in the yellow next to the rails. Reference Point in the spots, and Toto comes to take Reference Point, and Toto goes on by half a length. Reference Point battles back. Triptych finishes well, but Toto beats the Derby winner, and Toto beats Reference Point. Triptych is third. He's 12 clear of Bellotto, who's 1 ahead of Milligram. A gap of 10 lengths to Gulf King. Another 10.
A Triptych, Tony Bin and Bourbon Girl, and it's still Reference Point being chased by a Catenango. Reference Point for England from a Catenango for Germany from Unite in third, then Sir Harry Lewis, and Steve has gone for home already on Reference Point. He's lengthening now. It's Reference Point going away from a Catenango, and on the outside Celestial Storm producing a run. Triptych is coming with a tremendous challenge now. They're racing to the furlong pole, and it's still Reference Point from Triptych and Celestial Storm racing into the final 150 yards. Reference Point is holding a ball and is going to win it. The Derby winners against the King George and the Queen Elizabeth Diamond Stakes. Reference Point has won. Celestial Storm was second.
The public have latched on to Triptych from 11 to 4 this morning into 6 to 4. They're calling now, and 13 to 8 Triptych. It's 6 to 1 bar. There's money for Sharp Noble, as you've known. It's now a 50 to 1 chance. You know, 500 to 1 with me. But my noble lord, 2 ladies in Britain today. There's Triptych and there's Madonna. Who's more popular? Here, it's Triptych than Madonna.
Well, with me, there'll never be any question, really. Although, I must admit, I've never met Madonna. I have patted Triptych, and I've loved her for a long time. The best of luck to her, and over to you, Graham Good.
And I remember trainer Patrick Le Biancone saying that she has to show a little bit of temperament going into the stalls, and Triptych did just that. That's it, but they're all in store for the Matchmaker International, that's it, and away they go. 1.25 miles the trip, and Sir Harry Lewis, ridden from the front again, best advantage of his stamina. He's up with the pace early on, and that one leads, but now it's Most Welcome that comes when you take it up. Most Welcome and Motley up on the outside. So it's Motley and Most Welcome from Sir Harry Lewis. The pace is strong. Alan Millord is 4, Love the Groom 5, Shady Height 6, Triptych 7, Sharp Noble 8. Ascot Knight is racing very wide of the group, and last of all is Show Me Air. Ascot Knight is the one at the top of the picture on the right. There you can see camera angles do make things very deceptive indeed, doesn't he? That's Ascot Knight on the extreme left. The rest have got 7.5 furlongs to go, and it's Most Welcome in the lead. From Motley in second and Love the Groom third, with Ascot Knight racing very wide up on the outside. They pass the 7 furlong pole, and next to the rails From the camera angle in the stands, would seem Most Welcome in the lead, but our camera angle gives it to Ascot Knight. Ascot Knight from Most Welcome and Love the Groom and Motley. Then Animal Lord, and behind that one comes Sir Harry Lewis, past the 6 furlong pole, and it's Ascot Knight on the outside of Most Welcome. Behind these comes Motley, then Love the Groom. Shady Heights tries to make a bit of ground. Animal Lord not done with. They're halfway in the Matchmaker International, and Most Welcome on the inside of Ascot Knight. Not much to choose between the two now, and Most Welcome, Paladary pulls down his goggles. He's going to mean business, but Walter Swinburne comes down the centre of the track from where he won the previous race. So on the extreme right is Most Welcome, and Pat Edery ploughing a lone furrow. All the other jockeys in this top class race have come down the centre to stand side, and it's Ascot Knight who leads that bunch. Behind these comes Alan Malone, and Harry Lewis and Motley and Love the Groom, and Shady Heights being ridden along. Chaumiere won't be winning. They've got 2.5 to go, and Ascot Knight has it. Ascot Knight, Most Welcome on the far side. Motley in behind these. Triptych, the favourite, travelling there very smoothly indeed. They've got 2 to race, and it's Ascot Knight and Motley tracked by Triptych. Most Welcome is out on his own on towards the right. Then behind these comes to Harry Lewis, just over a furlong to go, and it's Triptych now in the pale blue who throws down the challenge to Ascot Knight, and Triptych quickens up inside the final furlong, and Triptych goes on by 2 by 3 to Ascot Knight. Going to be close to third, but Triptych wins it. What an incredible mare. Triptych, Ascot Knight to Harry Lewis. Triptych, Ascot Knight second to Harry Lewis third. Motley 4, Most Welcome stuck in the mud on the far side 5th. Behind these came Love the Groom in 6, Alan Malord 7, Chaumiere 8, Shady Heights 9, and last of all was Sharp Noble. And so the result of this Matchmaker International, it's a win for number 4, Triptych, owned by Mr. Alan Claw, the 13-to-8 favourite, trained in France by Patrick Biancone, ridden by Steve Cawthon.
Invited guest, trained by Robert Armstrong, a filly who's returned to form, and Entitled, who's going into stall number 1 as we take a quick flash of betting. Triptych is 5 to 4, it's 6 to 1 Broken Hearted, and 13 to 2 Bar.
All in, and they're racing in the Dunstores Phoenix Champion Stakes. Ascot Knight will away also. Triptych up there towards the outside. Motley and Risk Me, and Entitled right there on the inner as they head up the course. Motley the leader from Risk Me. Entitled on the inside. Broken Hearted running 4, and we've had a faller there, and it's Groom Dancer that's down. Groom Dancer is down, the horse running loose, and jockey Dominique Boeuf is still lying on the turf as they race up towards the turn now at the top of the track. Entitled just being headed by Risk Me on the outside. Motley, they're followed by Broken Hearted. Then comes Ascot Knight just behind them on the inside. Invited Guest, Fair Judgment there towards the outer. About to swing left-handed now at the top of the course. Dominique Boeuf still to rise from the fall as they cross the top. Risk Me is the leader. Steve Cawthon followed in second place by Motley. Entitled is third. They're followed in fourth by Fair Judgment. On the inside of Fair Judgment comes Broken Hearted. Behind Broken Hearted, Ascot Knight. Then Invited Guest and Island Reef. And behind these, Cockney Last, Triptych is second last. And last of all is Sharp Noble as they swing into the straight with just over half a mile to cover. Risk Me in the lead from Motley on the outside. Entitled blinkered on the rails. Then Broken Hearted, Dark Colours outside. Dark Colours white cap. That's Fair Judgment. Just behind these, Invited Guests. Triptych is just in picture on the rails as they race down now towards the 3 furlong point. Risk Me in the lead in the Champion Stakes from Entitled coming to challenge. Broken Hearted is next. Then Motley. Then Fair Judgment, and Triptych is beginning to run on really well. They're racing towards the 2 pole now. Entitled on the outside of Risk Me. Triptych has moved up on the heels of the leaders. Here comes Ascot Knight on the outside. Then Motley, then making a run to Cockney Last. They've just over a furlong to race, and it's Entitled, the leader, being tackled on the inside by Triptych. Ascot Knight is next, then Cockney Last, but Triptych has gone through on the inside of Entitled. Neck and neck inside the final furlong. Triptych hits the front from Entitled, a half a length up now. Triptych and Tony Cruz as they race up to the line in the Dunstores Phoenix Champion Stakes. Triptych is going to win it at the 3rd attempt. Got to the line. Triptych wins it cleverly by about half a length from Entitled in second. Cockney Last is third. 4 is Ascot Knight, then a 6-length gap to Risk Me. 2 back to Motley, who's clear of Sharp Noble. Then Broken Hearted and Fair Judgment. Then Invited Guests, and behind Invited Guests comes Island Reef, followed in by the riderless Groom Dancer, who caused a sensation, having gone a little over a furlong. And we look down, we see that Dominique
runners, the same sized field as last year when the race was run on the July course. Nearest to us, Don't Forget Me, Triptych, the favourite 6 to 5. It's 4's Pototo, 6 to 1 Risk Me, 8's Bar, and away they go in this £100,000 added Group 1 Dubai Champion Stakes. And the early leader, one of the 3 French challengers, Mill Native up on the outside against the rails is Bold Arrangement. Bold Arrangement is being followed by Don't Forget Me, then Blessed Event right up there too. Then comes Triptych, who won this last year. They've completed a furlong already, and it's Bold Arrangement for England taking over in the lead. The horse who ran in the Kentucky Derby last year. Blessed Event, the filly, in second. Then in three, with those hoop colours, the Trompolino colours, that's Mill Native. Closely followed by the great mare Triptych, then Risk Me on the outside. In the striped colours next is the German-bred Amerigo Vespucci. Then the outsider Ginobra, 200 to 1. Don't Forget Me's dropped back a place or two, and the last three are Most Welcome. Then St. Andrews also for France. And just last, Mutoto in the yellow jacket, black epaulets. But up front, as they come now down to the end of the first half mile, the leader still Bold Arrangement on the near side in the hoops, Mill Native. Then Blessed Event with a blue cap hidden on the far side. Triptych still in for the favourite. After her comes Risk Me, then Ginobra, the rank outsider. Most Welcome makes ground up towards the outside, and they're running now to halfway, just past halfway in the champion. So over to the grandstand, and Graham Good.
And new tactics is for Don't Forget Me, held up. There was no pace early on. Toto's got a lot of running to do. He's on the right of the picture. The favourite, Triptych, in the pale blue. They're inside the last half mile as Mill Native in the hoops comes through on the outside of Bold Arrangement. Next to the rails is Blessed Event. On the outside of these comes Risk Me. Most Welcome in the black and white coming with a run. Then comes Don't Forget Me, Triptych. Toto making ground on the outside as they pass the bushes. Just over 2 to go. Triptych covered up, settled in mid-division as they race down towards the final quarter mile. And it's Mill Native in the hoops. Next to the rails is Blessed Event. Then Most Welcome on the outside of Risk Me. Tucked in behind these comes Triptych and travelling well. Toto with a lot of running to do as Most Welcome goes to home now in the Dubai Champion Stakes. They're inside the final furlong and Most Welcome has the call. But here comes a French mare, Triptych, flying as she normally does. She comes through to take Most Welcome and she goes on for an emphatic win. And Triptych wins this for the second year running. Triptych the easy winner, Most Welcome second. St. Andrews stayed on well to be third. Then came Blessed Event and Risk Me and Don't Forget Me, and behind that one came Mill Native. Behind that one, Toto. Then Amerigo Vespucci, followed by Ginobra, and last of all was Bold Arrangement. And so the winner of this, the Dubai Champion Stakes, is number 4, Triptych, owned by Mr. Alan Claw. Trained at France by Patrick Bianco and ridden by Tony Cruz, his 4th winner of the season in this country, and of course all those gained on Triptych, the 6-5 favourite winner of this Group 1 £145,000 Dubai Champion Stakes. The horses have between them won 44 races and over £1.5 million in prize money. By far and away the biggest contributor was this mare Triptych, and she held up through the first quarter mile in this very slow pace. That suited her admirably.
Well, what a fantastic turn of speed Triptych has shown to swoop and take this late on, and what an enterprising race Pat Edery rode on Most Welcome. He moved him up from last position, or nearly last, towards the outside and quickened to the front, going down into the dip, using that as impetus and really stretching the field, getting everything off the bridle, everything almost, that is, except Triptych, who on meeting the rising ground lengthens her stride. Look at her action, really appreciates plenty of giving the ground, this mare. She pounds up the hill, catches Most Welcome about 150 yards out and simply sprints clear in almost exactly the same fashion as she'd done last year. Most Welcome has run a very, very good race. He's come home clear of everything else. Fully justified Jeff Ragg's decision to let him take part, and the others aren't really in it.
Magnifique Triptych, a great gasp from the crowd went by up as she swept past Most Welcome, returned a 6-5 favourite. Most Welcome was sent off at 17-2, that's 8.5 to 1, and the third, St. Andrews, was a 12 to 1 chance. And the stats for you with Triptych, the 41st favourite to win this century. She's the 10th filly or mare to win in the last 15 years. She's the 16th French train winner since the war, and she's the 10th horse to win successive champion stakes. The most recent were Brigadier Gerard in 71 and 72, and the French train Dynamiter 20 years earlier. That marvellous mare Triptych, what price that she'll be back to join us next year for a hat-trick of champions, which only one horse has ever done, Tristan, over 100 years ago.
Triptych by Riverman, who himself was second to Brigadier Gerard in this race, and she got a tremendous reception, no surprise, very popular. She's got fantastic form, one of the best race mares in the history of racing, I think, and that little bit of character that makes her such a crowd pleaser. Tony Cruz there, beaming. Every right to feel pleased, Tony. Executed tactics. Pat on the back for him from trainer Patrick Biancon. Well done. So there's the great Triptych. Here's her SP.
First, number 4, Triptych, the 6-5 favourite. Second, number 9, Most Welcome at 17-2. And third, number 11, St Andrews at 12-1. 11 ran.
And Reference Point looks to be swallowed up. As on the outside, Trompolino in the hoops comes bursting through. Patanari in the lead on Trompolino. Reference Point is beaten and beaten badly, but it's Trompolino who's clear of Tony Min in second place, Toto third. Then comes the racer as they race up towards the line. It's Trompolino who's clear up towards the line. Patanari wins his third consecutive arc. Trompolino wins, Tony Min second, close for third between Triptych and Toto. Then came Tabayan, Orban. Behind Orban came Teresa. Then came Reference Point, and behind Reference Point, Sharanaya, and a true and disappointing last of all was Groom Dancer, and so confirmation that the third year running Pat Edery has won this. The Trust House 40.
Doesn't she? Triptych back in 4th place. But the ground might be just a bit too firm for her, and well, we don't know. We'll see. Bin Pasha leads from Moon Madness and Infamy, and Triptych back in 4th and last place. And Steve Cawthon just niggling along, you know. She's just losing touch. She's about 3 behind Infamy. And that's a length and a half behind the leading pair, who pass a mile pole now. And it's Bin Pasha on the inside of Moon Madness. And Triptych, you know, is... you know, she's just losing her place. She's going 5 behind now, and Steve Cawthon's having to ride her along. Moon Madness going on at the top of the hill, 7 to race. Now Triptych is starting to race. She's just closing on Infamy, and Moon Madness leads by 3 lengths to Bin Pasha in second, Infamy third, and Triptych in 4th. They come down towards the halfway stage. Halfway now, Moon Madness 3 clear of Bin Pasha and Infamy, and now Triptych again just starting to niggle along again. She's just losing a length or 2 as Moon Madness starts to begin the descent. 5 to race, Moon Madness by 3 lengths, and Infamy now sweeps past Bin Pasha, and back in last place Triptych trying to close. She is closing. They start the sweep round Tattenham Corner, and it's Moon Madness in the lead from Bin Pasha in second, Infamy, and now Triptych on an even keel and closing. But Moon Madness goes for home, and Pat Edery has quickened the pace. He's driven some pace into the race. 3 to go, and Moon Madness is ahead of Infamy the Grey, Bin Pasha, and now Triptych pulled to the outside, and she's starting to race now, and they're in line for her, and just over 2 to go. Moon Madness has it from Infamy, but Triptych now is looking strong. Bin Pasha has dropped away. They've got a furlong and a half to go, and it's going to be a wide open race. Moon Madness with Infamy putting in a challenge, and Triptych looking as well as any now on the outside, and Triptych now puts a challenge to Moon Madness, but he's a brave horse. However, he's being passed by Triptych, who goes on from Infamy in second place, Moon Madness third at best, and Infamy tries to put the challenge to Triptych, but Triptych has the answer. Triptych wins. Infamy is second, Moon Madness third, Bin Pasha is 4th. A most fascinating race for this Group 1 Hanson Coronation Cup. It's gone to the favourite, number 9, Triptych, owned by Mr. Peter M. Brandt, trained in France by Patrick Louis Biancon at 11 to 8, and ridden by Steve Cawthon, his 39th winner of the season. Second is number 8, Infamy, who's won a cracking race for Ray Cochrane. Third is number 4, Moon Madness, ridden by Pat Edery. Well, if you'd back the favourite at the halfway stage... Then comes Indian Skimmer, Triptych. Toto now launched on the wide outside. Broken Hearted looks for room, a furlong and a half to go. And here with a steady run on the wide outside comes Toto, the favourite to come and take the Coral Eclipse. Shady Heights still has the edge. Toto coming with a great run. They race inside the final furlong, and Shady Heights keeping up the gallop, and Shady Heights going on by half a length. Toto tries to find more, and he does so, and at the line Toto gets there. Shady Heights second, and very close for third between Triptych and Indian Skimmer. Then came Galitzin, Broken Hearted, Tay Wharf, and Charmer was last of all. And so the outcome of this, the Coral Eclipse, Toto for me has just prevailed. That one owned by Sheikh Ahmed Al Maktoum. trained at Newmarket by Alex Stewart and done what not many horses have done this century, and that is win the Corin Eclipse in successive years. The last one to do so was back in the 1920s. Officially, it's a photo. The judge has called for a photo, but for me, there's no doubt about it. Toto has won it. What a cracking race. Number 3, Shady Heights, has run to finish second. That one ridden by Tony Ayres. And the judge might take some time to negotiate a position whereby he can choose the third, because that's very close between Triptych and Indian Skimmer. Disappointment of the race was broken.
Eyes full out to hold the lead. Sunshine Forever is under urging towards the inside. Great Communicator and Triptych, and here comes Equalize. They're coming to the 8th pole. With the lead is Equalize, and gaining ground on the outside quickly is Mill Native. The two greys, Mill Native and Equalize, coming to the finish. Mill Native of France on the outside wins the Arlington Million. Equalize second, and Sunshine Forever was third. A dramatic finish.
Champion Stakes with Indian Skimmer breaking smartly. Trusted Partner on her inside. Galitzin right up there towards the outer with Shady Heights, and just in behind these is Lord Bud as they head up the course. And it's Indian Skimmer on the inside, Shady Heights on the outer. Between horses is Galitzin. 4 is Triptych. Behind Triptych, Lord Bud. And then comes Fair Judgment. They're followed by Persian Heights, and behind Persian Heights is Trusted Partner. And then Curio. They're nearing the top left-hand turn, and Galitzin and Brian Rouse on the inside, Shady Heights on the outer. Indian Skimmer a length off them. Lord Bud 4, Fair Judgment 5. And they're followed by Persian Heights as they go into the turn across the top of the course. Galitzin is the leader by about half a length from Shady Heights in second, a length back to Indian Skimmer the grey, 2 lengths then to Lord Bud as they make the bend into the straight. Persian Heights going very smoothly on the outside. They're turning in now towards the straight, and as they do so, it's still Galitzin the leader from Shady Heights in second place. Indian Skimmer a couple of lengths back. Behind Indian Skimmer is Lord Bud, and they're straightening up with just over half a mile to cover. And it's Galitzin the leader with Shady Heights in second, Indian Skimmer 3. They're followed by Persian Heights. On the inside is Lord Bud. Just behind these is Curio. Trusted Partners on the outside of Fair Judgment, and Triptych is dropped back to be last. Racing now towards the 3 marker, and it's Galitzin on the inside from Shady Heights in the noseband, Indian Skimmer, then Lord Bud. Just in behind these is Fair Judgment. They've 2.5 furlongs to race in the Phoenix Champion Stakes, and Indian Skimmer rages up on the outside to take it up. Indian Skimmer goes for home, chased by Persian Heights coming there on the outside, then Shady Heights in 3, Galitzin 4, Fair Judgment 5. Here comes Triptych with a strong run, but it's Indian Skimmer the leader as they race into the final furlong from Shady Heights on the inside, trying to rally Persian Heights 3. Triptych's coming home really well on the outside. Indian Skimmer is the leader from Shady Heights, and Triptych is bearing down on them as they race to the line. Indian Skimmer the leader, pushed out by Michael Roberts. She's going to win it. Indian Skimmer wins it for Henry Cecil. Shady Heights is second. Triptych is 3, close for 4th between Persian Heights and Lord Bud, then Fair Judgment.
From Frankly Perfect in second, Diminuendo and Unforwayed. Toto has too much running to do so too. That's Kayati. Fijar Tango is finishing fast. Just over a furlong to go. And it's now Boyatino and Unforwayed that share the lead from Empson back in third. Finishing fast on the outside is Tony Bin, who's really finishing fast in the yellow sleeves. And Toto is helping his jockey, but too late. And it's Tony Bin that strikes the front, but they go up towards the line, and Toto flies to the death. But Tony Bin wins, and Toto
ready for the start of the 5th Breeders' Cup Turf. They're off. Great Communicator broke right in stride now, and he's out to take the early lead. Sunshine Forever also came away in good order, and he's right there. Indian Skimmer is out fast now. She's 4 wide heading for the turn. Triptych is up close early and toward the inside. Infamy is nestled nicely in 5th place. El Senor is just 3.5 lengths off the early lead. Frankly Perfect is now to his inside. Then it is Malicious, followed by St. Andrews. And Sar Move is the trailer. A tight pack now as they round the first turn. Great Communicator is prompted by Sunshine Forever. Triptych just off them on the outside, 3 wide as they move toward the top of the stretch. Infamy is nestled in behind them, and Indian Skipper, the Roan filly, is just alongside her. Frankly Perfect is saving ground throughout. El Senor is moving comfortably in the middle of the pack. Now they pass by us for the first time. It is still Great Communicator. Ray Seville trying to nurse that speed. Sunshine Forever is under a snug hold. Triptych is now up close early and edging closer to Great Communicator. A comfortable pace here. El Senor surprisingly close. Frankly Perfect is right there. Infamy is just in behind Horses. And Indian Skimmer now is drafting in behind Horses as they move into the second turn. Then it's St. Andrews, Malicious, and Sarhub. A tight pack. The pace is slow. The first quarter 25-2. The half in 51-3. 3 quarters in 17-2. And now Ray Seville asking Great Communicator for run. They're trying to shake loose from Sunshine Forever, who looms a threatening menace just off his flank on the outside. Triptych is right there, still close, running in third position. Frankly Perfect, a perfect trip so far. He's right there toward the inside. El Senor is within striking distance. Indian Skimmer is just 5 lengths off the lead now with a half mile to run in the Breeders' Cup Turf. Great Communicator now. Asperani's there by 3/4 of a length. Sunshine Forever, a powerful presence. He's right at his neck. And there he goes. Sunshine Forever now on the outside. Great Communicator fighting back. And the filly kicks in. Triptych is moving right with her. Indian Skipper with a 4-wide sweep now as they come to the quarter pole. Triptych now. Indian Skimmer on the outside. Those two set down for the drive. Sunshine Forever, and he's not through yet. Great Communicator. The 4 of them across the track in a dramatic confrontation. Great Communicator, Indian Skimmer, Sunshine Forever, roaring back in between them. Great Communicator, unyielding. Sunshine Forever, determined. Great Communicator. Great Communicator will not be denied. Sunshine Forever was second, and Indian Skimmer was third. What a dramatic stretch drive. The Breeders' Cup Turf does it again. Fireworks in the stretch on the grass today. Great Communicator and a great ride by Ray Seville.
Much the worst racing news last week was, without any doubt, the death of the great Triptych. Those sad headlines told an amazing story, how poor Triptych, who was in foal, got frightened in her Kentucky paddock and somehow galloped into one of the stud's vehicles. A tragic end for one of the bravest mares there's ever been. Here is Bruff Scott with his account of Triptych's busy, brilliant career.
During her 2-year-old career, she was trained in France by David Smarga, and her first Group 1 victory came when she aimed for the Prix Marcel Boussac, the top 2-year-old fillies race of the French season, and the first glimpse of that high head carriage and flying feet which had made Triptych famous. As a 3-year-old, Triptych had moved to Ireland, but her campaign was almost ludicrously ambitious. She ran in every big event bar the boat race, and typically her major success came unorthodoxly against the colts in the Irish 2000 Guineas at the Curragh.
It's Triptych and Celestial Bounty as they race inside the final furlong. Triptych the leader in the early Coolmore Irish 2000 Guineas from Celestial Bounty and Sun Valley. As they race up towards the finish, it's Triptych the leader. Triptych's going to win it, not the line. Triptych's the winner of the Irish Guineas from Celestial Bounty and Sun Valley.
So Triptych won a classic. As a 4-year-old, she began with an unhappy stay in California before moving back to France, where under Patrick Biancone's care, she battled honourably through most of Europe's top races before finally coming good in the Champion Stakes at Newmarket.
Park Express, double bed, now Triptych is Van Riel on the outside, and Triptych has quickened up, and Triptych has gone on, a furlong and a half to go, and Triptych has stolen this. She's really quickened up and gone 3 clear. Here comes Celestial Storm with a noseband in second place, but Triptych has this from Celestial Storm and Park Express. Triptych out in front for a long time. Celestial Storm is closing, Triptych tied up. Celestial Storm really firing at the line, but at the post, Triptych wins it.
Triptych's first champion. By the time she was a 5-year-old, Triptych knew the racing game and the Biancone stable knew her. The understanding paid off with a remarkable season. She began, as she clearly meant to continue, Group 1 class. It was the Prix Gannet, and Triptych was devastated in that when she hit top gear, she engaged it quite ruthlessly all the way to the line. That Gannet was one of 5 brilliant Group 1 victories, which stretched right through the summer. The next stop was the Hanson Trust Coronation Cup at Epsom.
They've just got a furlong and a half to go. It's Rakaposhi King next to the rails. Here goes Triptych into the lead, and Triptych quickens up and makes these look very one-pace indeed. What an amazing mare this is. It's Triptych in the lead from Rakaposhi King second, Katanango is third, and Triptych holds on, but Rakaposhi King rallies inside the final furlong. Triptych has it though, at the lines, Triptych. Just over a furlong to go, and it's Triptych now in the pale blue who throws down the challenge to Ascot Knight, and Triptych quickens up inside the final furlong, and Triptych goes on by 2 by 3 to Ascot Knight, going to be close for third, but Triptych wins this. What an incredible mare. Triptych, Ascot Knight to Harry Lewis. Triptych.
Just over a furlong to race, and it's entitled the leader being tackled on the inside by Triptych. Ascot Knight is next, then Cockney Lass, but Triptych has gone through on the inside of Entitled. Neck and neck inside the final furlong. Triptych hits the front from Entitled, a half a length up now. Triptych and Tony Cruz as they race up to the line in the Dunstores Phoenix Champion Stakes. Triptych is going to win it at the third attempt. Got to the line. Triptych wins it cleverly by about half a length.
And it's Mill Native in the hoops next to the rails, his blessed event. Then Most Welcome on the outside of Ristby. Tucked in behind these comes Triptych and travelling well. Toto with a lot of running to do as Most Welcome goes to home now in the Dubai Champion Stakes. They're inside the final furlong and Most Welcome has the call. But here comes a French mare, Triptych, flying as she normally does. She comes through to take Most Welcome and she goes on for an emphatic win. And Triptych wins this for the second year running. Triptych the easy winner.
So to Triptych's last season, when at 6 years of age she was nearly as good as ever and worked every bit as hard. She won her second Coronation Cup, and by way of a change, the luck went her way at Longchamp, where the jockey who beat her in the Prix du Prince d'Orange failed to make the weight. That was her 14th victory. But let's say goodbye with a memory of the last time this Iron Lady passed the post in front.
They've got a furlong and a half to go, and it's going to be a wide-open race. Moon Madness with Infamy putting in a challenge, and Triptych looking as well as any now. On the outside, Triptych now wants to challenge to Moon Madness, but he's a brave horse. However, he's been passed by Triptych, who goes on from Infamy in second place. Moon Madness third at best, and Infamy tries to put the challenge to Triptych, but Triptych has the answer. Triptych wins.
16 different jockeys rode Triptych, and as they and her various trainers would all confirm, she was a highly individual character with a mind very much her own. That didn't always make her the easiest ride in the world, but it made her even more fun to watch. No flat race horse in the last 30 years has given more pleasure and excitement to racing audiences all over the world.
Is it half then? Or